How much time does paying to skip the line to Disney World really save you?
I have Lightning Lane Multipass.
And I don't.
We're putting it to the test.
We are here for rope drops. Look at all the people running to the worlds of discovery and nature and celebration and showcase. All the worlds. Emma, what are you rope dropping today?
Starbucks.
You.
Well, I'm placing bets now. I think you'll beat me.
I don't know if that's true.
I think it depends on how good the lightning lanes are, and right now they are not good.
I'm gonna see if I can get around these people. Enjoy Starbucks. I gotta go to Frozen.
Bye.
Bye. So today we are literally doing multi-pass versus no lightning lane multi-pass. I do not have lightning lane multi-pass, which means I have to rely on solid rope drop strategies, zigzagging around, checking on low wait times when I think it's going to be the best times to ride different attractions. Now the last one I did was at Animal Kingdom, and there were like 5 rides all in all, and we were out in 2.5 hours. This is definitely going to take a little bit longer. Oh, and I had lightning lane multi-pass. This is definitely going to take a little bit longer. There are more attractions here in EPCOT, but we are only focusing on the rides that you can use with lightning lane multi-pass. Now this wouldn't always be my typical strategy because at the time of filming, Test Track is still closed. It's currently being refurbished to make way for a brand new version of the Test Track attraction. What I'm actually doing is I'm headed all the way back to Frozen Ever After in the Norway Pavilion in the World Showcase. The 2 highest weight attractions are definitely going to be Frozen Ever After and Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, which is on the other side of World Showcase. Those typically average out about an hour. And obviously we are trying to see if Lightning Multipass is worth it here at EPCOT. So let's head to Norway.
The way that Sage is immediately like a mile in front of me, I am going here to Starbucks because my first lightning lane is not for about 45 minutes, which is not ideal, but we made these lightning lanes 3 days in advance, but it was a little bit into the afternoon when we made them because full transparency, we weren't supposed to film this today. We were supposed to film something else, but with the hurricane coming in, we wanted to switch it just, in case the weather did end up being a little bit unpleasant. So I am rope dropping to Starbucks. We're gonna grab some coffees, we're gonna grab a little breakfast, and then I'll talk about what Lightning Lane Multipass is.
Now, unfortunately, even though I am rope dropping, I am still not going to be one of the first ones in line because there is still a thing for resort guests only, a great perk. It's called early entry, where they get into the park 30 minutes before regular park guests. So they've already had the chance to make their way to Remy's or Frozen or whatever they're doing that day. Using early entry is a great way to optimize your park visit if you are eligible for early entry. In fact, Emma and I, we have a whole video up on the channel about the different kind of hotel perks you can get if you're staying at a Walt Disney World resort. So you can check that out.
Hey, welcome to the office. We have about 45 minutes until I can get my first lightning lane. I am trying to scoot it up, but I don't want to cancel this one because the next available times have been like 2 and 3 o'clock. So we might as well do the 9:40 or 9:50 and then just, bite the bullet, wait the 40 minutes. But I ended up getting one of my favorites, salted caramel cream cold brew and a ham and Swiss. I'm really hyperfixating on the ham and Swiss right now. But I get to use the Lightning Lane Multipass. So what is that? It's basically Disney's newest paid skip the line service. It used to be Genie Plus, that is gone. Now we are on Lightning Lane Multipass. You'll hear us refer to it a lot as Multipass or Lightning Lanes. Same thing, it's all the same thing. Basically, the prices change depending on which park you're going and what day you're going. It can vary per person, but it gives you access to most of the lightning lanes in Disney World. Essentially, the biggest change is that you can now book in advance your skip the lines. You can book 3 in advance, which is very exciting and a little bit closer to the old Fast Pass system. So if you are a Disney resort guest, you can book 7 days in advance of your park day. This is a huge advantage to staying on property. It just kind of gives you a leg up to get better times. And if you are not staying at Disney World, you can book 3 days in advance. There is a 1 tier and then there is a 2 tier. The 1 tier is going to be the biggest rides in Disney. You can choose 1 out of the tier 1s, and then out of tier 2s is kind of the more like smaller filler rides, and you can choose 2 of those. So basically 3 at one time. If you're staying at Disney World, you can book 7 days in advance. If you're not, you can book 3 days in advance. So that's how you're going to use the Lightning Lane Multipass. Now, the Lightning Lane single pass is kind of like an a la carte edition for the most popular ride in each park. It is an additional fee on top of Lightning Lane multi-pass for the biggest ride. So for here in Epcot, it is Guardians of the Galaxy. Over in Magic Kingdom, they actually have two, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train or Tron. Hollywood Studios is Rise of the Resistance, and then Animal Kingdom is Flight of Passage. You don't have to buy both. You can buy one, you can buy the other, whatever combo you want, but essentially that's how you're going to skip the lines in Disney World, and that's what I'm doing today. Now, I did not buy the single pass. This is just a Lightning Lane multi-pass challenge, so no Guardians of the Galaxy for me, but hopefully everything else. I did just right now, I forgot to screen record it, I moved my Spaceship Earth up by 25 minutes. So now we only have to wait 15 more minutes before we can go hop in line. Really 10 minutes, because I can actually scan in 5 minutes early. So things are already looking up. If Anna and Elsa will just work with me, I would be really pleased. It also means I only have 10 minutes to eat this. Did you see that cheese ball? This is so good.
Let's talk about having a good rope drop strategy. What is rope drop? Back in the day, cast members, right before a park would open, they used to hold a big rope across the entryway, and when it was time for the park to open, they would drop the rope. That's why, otherwise known as rope dropping. It just means the park is opening. Now, the reason why having a good rope drop strategy is super important is because it's those early hours in the morning that's going to be the least crowded. So that's going to be the time to hit some of your must-do attractions with lower wait times. Typically, the first 2 hours of the day and the last 2 hours of the day are going to be your least busy hours.
This way.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be a long one. All right, it just changed to 40 minutes, which again makes sense because this is definitely a super high in demand ride. The average wait time is 60 minutes, so every minute counts. But Frozen Ever After is a slow moving dark ride that takes place after the Frozen movie happens. Violet, my daughter, is slowly starting to move out of a Moana phase into a Frozen phase. So I'm getting a lot of Frozen happening in my life, just like as a general statement. Basically, Elsa has invited you to her ice palace for a royal celebration in honor of the de-thawing of Arendelle. It's a lot of fun, super great animatronics. It's super popular because there are different versions of this all over the world.
It's finally time for our first Lightning Lane. We're gonna go on Spaceship Earth. Spaceship Earth, it's here in the icon, the famous, some people call it the golf ball, I call it the prettiest girl in school, whatever you want to call Spaceship Earth, you know, she'll respond. One of my favorite rides in Epcot, it's an Epcot staple to me. It's a slow moving ride that kind of takes you through history and human communication and like how we got better at communication, how we've expanded the world. So it's really, that sounds like a boring description, but I really love it. Now, as soon as I tap in up here, I can go ahead and make my next Lightning Lane. That is another change that I have really loved. As soon as you use one Lightning Lane, it is time to make another. So I hopefully we'll get something decent, something either super soon or a Frozen. But last time I checked, Frozen has sold out for the day, so we will see. Okay, I went ahead and made my next one for the Seas with Nemo and Friends because it, frankly, nothing is super late outside of Frozen being completely gone. And that's closest to us, so we're just gonna walk there next, and then hopefully after that we can just start making circles. I'm a little bit concerned about Living with the Land. It's about 2.5 hours out right now, but I think we can finesse it. I wanted to just go ahead and be able to use one early, and I also think one of the benefits of the Lightning Lane system is you can kind of mess with it. You can move them around as you need. If you don't like the one you made, just go in and modify it. It's really pretty simple. I really like that feature. So if I decide I'm getting nervous about Living in the Land, I'll just switch that one over.
It's funny, Emma and I have such differing opinions about this queue because she's like, oh, this is one of my favorite queues to stand in just because it's really nice and dark and, I don't know, nice theming. And I actually think the opposite. Yeah, I think the theming is kind of cute for sure. You know, I definitely think we could have gotten some like live entertainment up there for sure, but it's just a bunch of switchbacks. So I don't know, let me know in the comments, what do you think? Is the Frozen queue it, or is it, you know, just a bunch of people that looks like a giant crowd in a city? "26 minutes, that's not bad. Here we go.
Okay, just wrapped up on Spaceship Earth, and I started crying on Spaceship Earth because I just found out that Maggie Smith passed away. And I actually realized how shed tears. I am devastated. How do we keep going? How do we keep filming this? I feel a little sick, and I feel like I need to go sit in the UK for a minute. This is how I felt when the Queen died, and Maggie Smith and the Queen are the same to me. They're on the same level. So you can literally see, you can see where my tear track went. I love her. And we have to continue, we have to keep going for Maggie Smith. Do not be surprised if Sage and I end this video in the UK with a drink to honor her, but we will keep going. In the meantime, we will keep going. Luckily, Spaceship Earth took just enough time that I walked straight over to the seas. I have about 5 minutes until I can tap in, and then as soon as I tap in here, I can start making other lightning lanes. I am nervous. I think that I'm most scared for Frozen, that it might not come back up. It is early in the day, so I would be surprised if that's the case, but we're gonna have to be very vigilant when it comes to paying attention to Frozen.
That, I believe, is all the time I have left for my rope drop time. Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is already up to an hour wait, which means I'm probably gonna have to wait. That'll be my last ride of the day. I think I need to do everything else while we still have some shorter wait, because everything else is like around 15, maybe 20 minutes. So we're headed back to the front of the park. We're gonna do some of those attractions, and then I think we're gonna end with Remy. It'll definitely be a little bit of a wait, but I don't feel like waiting for the ride to the front of the park to get higher wait times, because that would just be annoying. So back to the front. But Frozen Ever After, such a cute ride. I love the music in it. You know, recently I found out that I was like, that's crazy. Like, I thought the Ice Palace was only the Elsa room. And I was like, that's crazy. We're in the, they talked about the Ice Palace for like the entire ride, and then all of a sudden we're like there for only 4 seconds and Elsa pushes us away. No, the whole thing is the Ice Palace. I didn't clock that. How long have I been here? To save on time, and because everything is approximately 10 to 15 minutes, closest thing to us was Mission Space here in World Discovery. We are skipping Cosmic Rewind because the only way to do that is a virtual queue or a single pass. It means Cosmic Rewind is off of our list today. We are going to do Mission Space, and it doesn't clarify which Mission Space we need to do, because if you purchase Lightning Lane Multi-Pass for Mission Space, you can use your that Lightning Lane for either green mission or orange mission. You can use it for both. I am likely going to do the green mission because typically the green mission has a much shorter wait. However, only by 5 minutes as of now. Mission Space is a motion simulator attraction where Disney actually partnered with NASA in order to recreate what it's like to actually launch into outer space. It's a centrifuge, which means it just spins you really, really quickly. You're in this little cockpit, and it makes you feel like you're actively launching into space. There are two different missions. There's the Earth mission, which is the less intense. It's just you're orbiting Earth. And there's the Orange mission, which is you're traveling to Mars, which is way more intense. Now, Mission Space is definitely controversial because they do say Orange mission can make you feel sick. It's a lot of G-forces, and if you're claustrophobic at all, you're enclosed in a dark, tight space for, approximately, 5-6 minutes. It's a lot. Okay, it's a 5-minute posted wait time, and we are in line for a little under a minute.
Just got off. Now I have about 25 minutes until my Soarin', so we're gonna go say hi to a new friend for the first time. Okay, if you don't know, I'm obsessed with the manatees. I have a real love for them, and recently they actually replaced one. Joe, who was one of our favorites, is now at a different facility, and this is the new friend, Inigo. Hi, new friend. We're gonna be best friends. Okay, that's a fun little thing I like to do every single time I'm in the seas. I absolutely think Nemo and Friends is so fun and sweet. If you are using Lightning Lane Multipass, it's not the most important one to get. I got it because it was the earliest and physically right next to me, but if you are looking for bigger, more exciting rides, this one could go a little bit lower on your priority list than, say, Soarin'. I am gonna make my way over towards Soarin', towards the seas, and I will say, so far we've had no luck on Frozen. I saw a 6:30 pop up. I was too slow to grab it, so I didn't get it. From my limited experience with EPCOT and Lightning Lane Multipass, what I've seen, what the team has seen, is you're kind of picking between Remy and Frozen. It is possible to get both. We have gotten both. But if you are not wanting to be on your phone all day long, I've started getting myself into a place mentally where I'm picking between one or the other, because typically when you're able to make your next Lightning Lane, the one that was still available, which is typically Frozen, is gone, which is the experience we're having today. Now, this has been always the case, but just because you see that something's gone doesn't mean it's totally gone. Keep checking it throughout the day, keep looking back. Don't feel too defeated just yet until it's towards the very end of the day. Keep refreshing, keep trying. That's what I'm doing, and hopefully it'll work out.
Okay, I definitely made a small boo-boo. Not a big deal. I wasn't thinking about Soarin'. Soarin' is often another one that gets a crazy high wait time, and I totally should have gone immediately there, because Mission Space, especially Mission Space Korean, is going to have a low wait time for the entire day. So I'm going to head to Soarin' right now. Luckily, it is currently still a 20-minute wait, but definitely in the middle of the day, you're going to see anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. That's on average. And in general, we've just seen the land kind of popping off lately. The Land Pavilion, which has Living with the Land, Soarin', Awesome Planet. Now, I'm not including Awesome Planet in this statement, but both Living with the Land and Soarin' have had pretty high wait times lately. Specifically Living with the Land. We're talking 35 minutes for Living with the Land, which one of the best parts about Living with the Land is that it's not always a 35-minute wait. So, I don't know. This Living with the Land love is catching on. Soarin' Around the World is another motion simulator attraction. It's a hang gliding simulator attraction where you are flying high above really cool scenescapes. Oh, hey, it's a 20-minute wait, but it's having us go over here. Interesting. Anyway, you're going over really unique locations. You're getting a taste of the sights and some smells. Lots of fun, very relaxing, and a little bit thrilling at times, especially if you're sitting in the very first row, because the very first row goes the absolute highest. Oh, I knew it. I knew I goofed. It went from 20 minutes to 45 minutes, just like that. Yeah, see, that is the hard part about not having Lightning Lane Multipass, is you're running around trying to get what you think is going to be the low wait times, and then all of a sudden everyone has that same idea, and now it's a 45-minute wait. So this is definitely a longer wait.
Next up for me is Soarin'. I was actually able to push it about 5 minutes even earlier than my time was, just randomly. So I have 2 minutes to wait until I can tap in. It says it is a 45-minute wait. We will not be waiting that. Again, Frozen is not budging. We're not losing hope, but it is going to be our problem child today. Which, that phrase kind of stinks. Sorry to the problem children out there. So this is a little bit of a walk, but goodness, this is a tough line as well. I wonder where Sage is at. Ugh, I hate when we have challenges where we can't gab all day. I see him. Hide the money, y'all. That's so funny. I do think he's gonna win. I think, which we'll talk about this once it's all wrapped up. I don't think EPCOT, you need Lightning Lane Multipass, but that was fun. I had a little bit of excitement there.
Now, a great thing to do while you're in line, this line specifically, because there's not a lot to look at, is actually do their Disney Play experience. Download the Disney Play app on your phone. Do that before you come to the resort, because oftentimes downloading the actual app takes a long time using the park's Wi-Fi. But let's go play the Soarin' Challenge. It's basically trivia, and you're competing with almost everybody in line who is also playing this this game. They're gonna assign you to different teams. Allow. Choose your flight. No. You get to choose your flight team. We're gonna choose Team Purple. Part of the purple team. All right, now we can start playing. This means thank you in what language? Oh no, I'm really gonna show. Thai. That's probably wrong. I don't know. Hey, I was right. Oh, thank goodness. I'm really gonna show how much I don't know about the outside world.
Okay, Soarin' was so much fun. It's a classic. It's a must-do. It now says it's 55 minutes. We waited 6. Fine by me. I'm very pleased with that. And now it's time for our Living with the Land lightning lane, which started about 10 minutes ago. Living with the Land, slow-moving boat ride, and it shows you how Disney grows vegetables and how we're taking care of the earth and how they are being sustainable and how they keep us fed here, and different agricultural practices that they're helping to implement. I really love this ride. I'm like really giving boring descriptions today, but it's soothing, it's relaxing, and it's time for my lightning lane. Okay, so we have 2 lightning lanes left, one of which is still not available, but I'm not giving up hope, it's early in the day. But I'm gonna grab my Figment right now, and then maybe Frozen will pop up. Everyone manifest for Frozen, please.
So Disney usually stops the posted wait time counts right when they split off into different rooms or when there's a pre-show. So that podium up there is where the posted wait time stops. And it looks like we're only about 25 minutes, which is a lot better than the 45 that was posted right before we came in. Definitely know Emma already wrote it because she far surpassed me. So I think she's also likely hitting Living with the Land. Living with the Land is about a 15-minute wait. I'm hoping it is less than that. But I definitely made a little bit of a mistake going to Mission Space because it was closer to me as opposed to zigzagging all the way across the park to Soarin'. I definitely would have waited less time had I gone straight to Soarin', but oh well. All right, Living with the Land, about a 15-minute wait. I love this attraction. A lot of the AllEars team love this attraction specifically because it's just so relaxing. There's something about the music, and it starts off with this like lush, like rainforest, rain, rushing water. It's just really nice to kind of kick back and go, huh? These are just vegetables, but they're at peace, as am I.
Okay, another one done. Living with the Land, lots of fun. It is a longer ride, not super long, but just a little bit longer, and it is very chill. It's very quiet, so sometimes kiddos get a little bit bored. So far, no luck with Frozen, but I did get my Figment up about an hour earlier than it was, so I now have lightning lanes for everything except for Frozen, and they are all before, let's see what, Remy's my latest. Remy is at 12:50. So that is the last one I have. They're all done before 1, except for Frozen, which again, a lot of times in my, experience in EPCOT, it's between Remy or Frozen. So choices were made, and I'm excited. I would definitely recommend going for Remy for your lightning lane, especially because the Frozen line is almost entirely inside. Even the outdoor portion is only about 10-15 minutes. It is a much easier line to wait in than others, so That's one of the reasons that I always go for Remy. Now, if your kiddos have a hard time waiting in lines, or you do as well, but you care about Frozen more, go for Frozen, of course. But Frozen is the much easier line to wait in if you have to make a choice between the two. Next on my list is Mission Space. We have a lightning lane for right now. And this is one that I made in advance. So everything outside of Spaceship Earth, I have made today. But this one I did make in advance. It looks like Green Mission is 5 minutes. Mars Mission is 15, which Mars is the orange. Orange is more intense. Green is a lot more chill. If you have motion sickness issues or any problems with dizziness, maybe consider skipping both of them. Skip the ride altogether. This is one that I always go Earth Mission, just because I enjoy the ride. It's fun, it's interactive, but I don't like the intensity. So your lightning lane, if you have it, will count for either one. You can use it for orange or green. I will be technically using mine for green.
So I have 4 rides left that are still eligible in this lightning lane versus no lightning lane scenario. Because remember, we're not doing any shows, any meet and greets, just attractions that you can book lightning lane multi-pass for. Everything other than Remy's, which is an hour wait, and I'm just gonna have to brave that wait, unfortunately. Everything else is between a 20 to a 30-minute wait. Yes, even this Seas with Nemo and Friends. Yes, Spaceship Earth, and yeah, 20-minute wait for Figment. But typically, what I would do if this weren't, you know, a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of an experiment, typically what I would do is I would, you know, call it quits with rides for right now. I would go see some shows. I would go see some characters. I would go around the world, maybe have a nice beverage, try some of the festival food or just snacks in general, and then come back later on tonight when the wait times are going to be much lower, and then do these remaining attractions. But that's not the experiment today, so I'm just going to have to brave these waits, and which you guys know is my favorite thing to do. The goat cheese polenta at Earth Eats. Goat cheese polenta. I love the goat cheese polenta. Can you tell I'm a little hungry? All right, we're moving on. Journey into Imagination with Figment is a dark ride here in EPCOT. Basically, you are visiting the Imagination Institute, and they're teaching you all about the 5 senses. But Figment has some ideas of his own about how, you know, how the senses can better further your imagination. Now, this is just one iteration of this ride. There have been multiple. This is everyone's least favorite, or hey, if it's your favorite, let me know in the comments. But a lot of people dislike this just because they feel it's a cheapened version of all the previous versions. You can still kind of see, you know, just like pipe and drape in the back. You know, it's a little silly.
Activate manual control.
Loading flight plan.
Engineer, just a reminder, you will activate the flight cameras when we reach altitude. You will also extend the wings for landing.
We successfully landed. It was crazy because we came back in and there was a storm. Everything was fine. We made it. Still waiting on Frozen, still hoping for Frozen, but we've got about 40 minutes until Figment, so we're gonna wander that way. I will say one of the biggest advantages to having Lightning Lane Multipass in any of the parks is the absolute relaxed feeling I have right now. I just feel like we can kind of mosey around, we're saving our steps, we're going in small circles, and I can actually have a lunch right now. I can have a lunch after Figment if I want, and I think that that's really nice to know that you can kind of relax a little bit. Just makes the day a little bit easier, and that's not to say Sage is stressed by any means. It just means that he's having to think a little bit more on his feet than I feel like I am, which is, I think, nice for a vacation.
So next up, I was absolutely just gonna go right to the Seas with Nemo and Friends, but it is up to a 45-minute wait. That is bonkers for that attraction. Typically, like I would say on average, it's maybe a 20-minute wait, but 45, I mean, something is up. Something is afoot. Spaceship Earth did drop down from a 30 to a 25-minute wait, so I'm just gonna head there. So I think the game plan is, for my final 3, Spaceship Earth, 25 minutes. I'm really hoping there's just a fluke happening with the Seas with Nemo. Then we'll do the Seas with Nemo and Friends, and then make our way over to France for our longest wait of the day. Still about an hour wait, hoping it's less than that, but we'll see what happens, and then we will call it a day. But man, Wait times are crazy today. So first instinct, doing this experiment here at EPCOT, I think lightning lane multipass might be worth it. I mean, we are waiting in longer lines than I typically like to, and I guess it's all up to preference and budget, and if you can swing it. Do I think so far is it a necessity? No, because I think we'll probably, we started the day at 9. It's around almost noon. So I think there's a likely chance we could be done with all of the Lightning Lane Multipass attractions by like 2, which is not bad. So do I think it's a necessity? No, but once it's 2 o'clock, you only have about 3 more hours to catch some of the live entertainment that happens around. That's also when you start to get into your rainy time, your afternoon crazy shower time. And I always love skipping the lines. Now I'm pretty sure, I think Emma told me, she's actually having a hard time because she can only use Lightning Lane Multipass. She's actually having a hard time acquiring Frozen, which I know that's so she actually may not get to ride a ride today. She'll be done way before I am, but she might not get to ride something today because she can only use Lightning Lane Multipass. So I don't know. It's a toss-up so far, but I'll let you know what happens.
Up next for me, I'm pretty much gonna take Imagination's journey. Well, that's not really it. I'm journeying into Imagination with Figment, because that's the ride we're going on. We're gonna go into the Imagination Institute. It's their open house, and they're gonna take us into the touch and taste labs, the smell lab, sound lab, sight lab. We are going to just be journeying. However, this little purple dragon, who is a figment of your imagination, does pop up, and he makes things go haywire. Now, I think this ride has been up and down throughout today, so the line is about 20 minutes right now. I'm obviously not waiting that. We're still struggling. No Frozen. The sisters do not want us to participate in their journey to the Ice Palace, and that's okay, because I intend on going to the Ice Palace.
So relaxing. It's edutainment. It's what EPCOT does. It teaches you a little bit, but while entertaining you. And I am so glad that I made the choices that I did. I did not get in that 45-minute Seas with Nemo and Friends line. I went to Spaceship Earth. Great. I only waited 17 minutes in line. Not bad at all. But because I decided to forego the Seas because it was a 45-minute wait, it dropped down to a 20-minute wait, which is fantastic. There we go. We got the Seas with Nemo and Friends, 20-minute wait. Again, that's still higher than it typically operates because the line is all the way out here. Wow. Okay, well, we'll start the timer. 20 minutes, here we go.
We journeyed, it was so much fun. Figment himself is here in the flesh, meeting friends. I actually really like this ride. I used to hate it. I used to be very anti-Journey into Imagination. I used to skip it, but now I've really learned to like it almost like in an ironic way, or it's like, I don't know. I just liked it so much, I've like completely gone back to where I really like the Figment character now, which I never thought I would say. So, fun all around. Now we have like 35-40 minutes until Remy. The girls are still causing us trouble, but we'll see what we can do. This is a perfect time to take lunch. EPCOT is full of live entertainment. Go check out some entertainments. This is really just, we use lightning lanes on our perfect days, so that way we can enjoy a little bit of everything, but definitely not a necessity. The park has only been open for 3 hours, and we're almost done with every ride that has lightning lane availability. So it's definitely just a plus up, the little cherry on top, not a necessity by any means.
In the big blue world, I'm in a big clam shell. In the big blue world.
Honey,
everyone else feels, but honestly, I think one of the hardest things about coming to EPCOT and including Lightning Lane Multipass is just choosing what to eat. I'm completely at a loss because there's so many things I want to eat, and I really just wanted to do like one lunch stop. And I think that that is actually the most difficult part of Disney World, is deciding what you want to pay for and what your food should be. What? The baby hairs. Decided for my lunch. I was really torn between wings or Canada or the braised beef poutine, but I've not had anything from Canada yet. So I think I'm gonna hop in line, and this is kind of on our way to France as well. Well, no, I can't hop in line. It's over here. I'm excited to try it. This one's kind of hit or miss for some people, like it's either dry or it's really good. I haven't had it yet this year, so I'm excited to see if I like it. It is starting to rain a bit, so I'm going to try to find some shelter. If you're curious more about Food and Wine Festival, which is happening right now, we have a full video up on the channel. But I'm going to mosey towards France. I'm going to have some filet, and we got time to kill. That's actually pretty good. I enjoyed that very much. I really don't want to get soaked. I have my poncho, my steak. Oh.
Clouds are coming in. It's starting to lightly sprinkle. It's supposed to get worse in an hour. Speaking of an hour, that's how long Remy's Ratatouille Adventure wait time is right now. So typically Remy's posted wait time ends up being a little longer than it actually is. I feel like I'm going to be spending maybe 40 to 45 minutes in line. On top of that, with the rain, people tend to either panic and they go home, or they go in the first ride that they see and they say, hey, who cares, let's get out of the rain. Which means, yep, it's starting to rain harder, which means Remy's could be an even higher wait time by the time we get over there. Because I'm at the front of the park, Remy's at the back of the park, so wish me luck.
Okay, we finally made it over to Remy's. It is raining a little bit, but luckily we can tap in right now, actually. Our 5 minutes just started, our 5 minute early, tap in time. I adore this ride. It is very short though, so I typically do not recommend a long wait for it. You get shrunk down to the size of a little Remy rat. You get to go into the kitchen, and it gets a little dangerous. They're trying to get the rats out of the kitchen, but I think it's very sweet. It's a lot of fun. It is a screen 3D trackless ride, but I just am very excited. Typically, because of the long waits, I don't find myself riding this one a lot. I think one of the better strategies, because the lightning lanes have been gone for both this and Frozen for a long time, is whatever one you pull for your tier 1 lightning lane, consider rope dropping the other. Might help you avoid waits on both of them.
All right, we made it to Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. It currently says it's a 15-minute wait, which is 5 minutes less than it was when we first started walking. So maybe it's gonna keep going down, work out in our favor. I highly doubt it, because it is currently a little past 1 and we are deep in peak time. Typically the middle of the day is when there are the most people inside of the park. So that's when wait times are gonna be the highest. Yeah, that's definitely a 50-minute wait. All right. Well, wish me luck. I will see you all on the other side.
Well,
These numbers are quite funny.
I'm really excited to see. I will go ahead and say, I've not been able to get Frozen. I waited the entire time he was in Remy. The girls aren't budging.
Well, and I think that's really interesting that even though I inevitably waited in line much longer, I still rode one more ride, so.
But I got to have breakfast and lunch.
Right, and
so you got to choose what you care
And
about.
how long were you in line for? What was your total time?
My total wait time was about 18 minutes.
18 minutes in line. My total wait time was 2 hours and 43 minutes.
Yeah, so
in
a little
line.
bit of a difference.
And we've been here overall for about 5 hours. So I spent, I would say almost 3 out of those 5 hours in line.
And I was moseying. I sat for a while. I had breakfast and lunch.
No.
Yeah.
Aw.
So it was very nice.
I had a cup of water.
Yeah, and you saved more money than me.
I
So
did.
pros and cons.
Pros and cons. So do we think Lightning Lane Multipass is worth it here in Epcot?
I think it is not a necessity by any means. I think if you're looking to splurge, get it, but I don't think it's a necessity at all.
I definitely think you can avoid spending that money, but you will have a much easier day with Lightning Lane Multipass. So I think this specific park, unlike Magic Kingdom, where I think like you really
need it.
this is kind of like choose your adventure.
Yeah,
Where
totally
Animal
agree.
Kingdom is like don't spend your money on that.
Totally agree.
Well, we're in front of the pub because we're gonna go celebrate
Miss
the
you.
life of Maggie Smith.
Maggie Smith.
Well, Maggie Smith, this video is dedicated to you. I don't think this is what you wanted, but
No, but if you like this video, you can like and subscribe.
now go watch the Lightning Lane Multipass versus no Lightning Lane Multipass in Animal Kingdom.
See you there.
Bye.